Real estate law, revenge. The lawyer slid the envelope across the desk without looking at me. Her farm. It's yours now. My wife had forbidden me from ever stepping foot there. She never explained why, only pressed her lips into that thin line of finality that ended every conversation we couldn't have. And I obeyed, because silence in marriage can feel safer than the truth. But now, with her gone, the silence was mine to break. I drove 2 hours to the edge of nowhere, the fields withering under a sky that looked as though it hadn't rained in years. The gate squealed open when I pushed, rust flaking off like dead skin. Her land. My land now. The farmhouse waited in the distance, old wood, shutters sealed, windows like closed eyes. I unlocked the door with the key the lawyer gave me. The smell hit me first. Not rot, not dust, something metallic, sterile, like a hospital corridor abandoned mid-shift. I stepped inside and froze. Rows of filing cabinets lined the walls, neat, labeled, alphabetized. Inside them, contracts, deeds, property transfers, each stamped, signed, with my wife's name. Not mine, not ours. The air left my lungs in a violent rush. She hadn't been hiding a farm, she'd been hiding an empire. My wife, quiet, disciplined, impeccably polite, had been a CEO of a law firm that didn't exist on paper, a shadow firm. Every file whispered the same story. Properties acquired under pseudonyms, flipped, sold, hidden again. And yet, buried among the pages, my name appeared. Dozens of times. My signature, replicated, binding me to agreements I had never seen. Loans, guarantor lines, silent partnerships. I stared at the pages until my hands shook. She'd used me, not as a partner, as camouflage. The betrayal was not only in ink. It was in her smile at breakfast, her hand on mine at night, the way she'd redirect every question I had about her business with a simple, "It's complicated." Complicated, yes, because it was built on my forged consent. The denial tried to rise in me, desperate, clumsy. Maybe she had reasons. Maybe she meant to protect me. Maybe... No, the weight of every contract said otherwise. She had concealed, manipulated, and profited, while I stood as an unwitting shield against liability, a partner in nothing, yet responsible for everything. I didn't rush to the authorities. Not yet. Revenge requires patience, not impulse. First, I copied. Thousands of pages scanned in silence, the sound of the machine grinding through her lies. I built a case she would never see, but one day would feel. Second, I searched. Property tax records, bank transfers. The pattern emerged slowly. She had been building something bigger than wealth. Influence. Hidden ownership across law firms, real estate agencies, even judicial clerks. Every name, every transaction was a piece in her mosaic of control. And then, emails. Printed, cataloged, preserved in the neat precision of her cabinets. They weren't just about business. They were personal, intimate, written to another man. Not a partner, not a client, a lover. Her true confidant, the one who knew the farm existed, the one who congratulated her after every acquisition, the one who signed his name alongside hers on documents kept hidden from me. I read them all. Each line burned but did not destroy me. It fueled me. The rage was controlled, measured, crystallized into strategy. Outwardly, I was the grieving husband, quiet, composed, shaking hands at her funeral, thanking neighbors for their sympathy. Inwardly, I was sharpening the blade of truth, one fact at a time. The final piece came from the lawyer himself, a sealed envelope marked with her handwriting, "For him, if I'm gone." I opened it under the dim light of my study, half expecting an apology. Instead, it was instructions. A map of accounts, passwords, properties. She wanted me to continue her empire, to step into her shadow throne. And at the bottom, one line. You were never meant to know. You were meant to protect. The calmness that settled in me was unnatural, absolute. I had confirmation now, not suspicion, not fragments, truth. I tracked down the man from her letters, a partner at a rival law firm, married, 2 children, untouchable on the surface. I arranged a meeting, neutral ground, a cafe. When he arrived, polished and smiling, I slid a folder across the table, the same way the lawyer had slid hers to me. Inside, contracts, emails, photos, proof of everything. He opened it. His smile cracked. His hands trembled. His throat worked as though swallowing glass. I said nothing. Sometimes silence is the loudest weapon. He whispered first. "You can't. This would ruin me." I leaned back, my voice calm, detached. She ruined me first. I'm only returning the favor. I didn't need to raise my tone. The weight of inevitability did the work. I gave him a choice. Step down quietly, or the file would find its way to the press, the courts, his wife's trembling hands. He begged, bargained, sweat rolling down his temples like confession. I watched him break, piece by piece, the same way I had broken in silence when I opened that farmhouse door. But unlike me, he had no time to rebuild. By the end of that meeting, he was finished. His resignation would be framed as voluntary, his assets quietly liquidated, his reputation evaporated. And I didn't want his destruction for wealth or for justice. I wanted it for balance. For the first time, I wasn't her shield. I was the blade. I returned to the farmhouse one final time. I walked through the rows of cabinets, the frozen architecture of her lies, and set the keys down on the dusty kitchen table. I didn't want her empire. I didn't want her shadows. I wanted silence again, but this time, mine. As I closed the door behind me, I felt no grief, no pity, just clarity. She built her kingdom on my name. She died believing I would protect it, but I won't. I'll let it rot where it stands. Because some inheritances are not gifts, they're graves, and I have no intention of being buried with her.